morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories. This hour, establishment faction of Nepal Communist Party terms the separate meeting hosted by leader Nepal as against the party statute wants a political crisis. Failure to nab the perpetrator of rape and murder of Nirmala Panta raises questions over the government's intention and capability. Incidents of rape on the rise. Over 400 people confirmed dead after a tsunami triggered by a magnitude 7.5 earthquake in Indonesia. And Manchester City climbs to the top of the English Premier League on goal difference. Barcelona fails to score full points for the third consecutive match. Let's begin with national political updates. Nepal Communist Party's senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal called a meeting of the party's standing committee members at a time when chairman duo KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal are on foreign tours. However, the leaders close to the establishment faction have expressed discontent, citing that the meeting held by leader Nepal was against the party's policy and statute. At the meeting held with the party's standing committee members on Friday, leader Nepal expressed dissatisfaction against the selection of leadership in all 7 provinces. The leaders affiliated with the chairman duo have, however, alleged leader Nepal of putting forth his discontent by going against the party policy. One of the ruling party leaders and communication minister, Gokul Baskota, said that it was no big deal to express one's displeasure in any democratic system. It's important to abide by proper timing and procedure. The leaders close to the establishment have also urged leader Nepal to maintain vigilance, warning that the meeting called in such a manner would affect the intra-party unity. Minister Baskota said that it would be appropriate to express discontent and seek solution within the party's ranks and files instead of making it a public issue. Senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal is of the demand that the chairman duo should revise their decision regarding the leadership in provincial governments, which he said was taken in a single-handed manner without holding discussion at the standing committee meeting. And moving on, the people's outrage has continued, citing that the government has attempted to let the real culprit involved in the rape and murder of Nirmala Pant to go scot-free in one or the other pretext. Different protest programs are also being organized demanding free and fair investigation into the incident. The investigation on the part of the police and the Home Ministry itself have been controversial and failed to produce any result. This has raised serious questions over the government's place for rule of law and human rights. The justice regarding rape and murder of 13-year-old Nirmala Panta of Kantipur has remained a far cry despite the lapse of 2 months since the heinous crime. Let alone effective probe into the incident, the government has even failed to take additional action against the police officers involved in posing fake perpetrators and destroying evidence. The police was able to arrest the criminal within 24 hours in another incident of rape and murder of 10-year-old Shreya Sunwar in Pokhara last week. However, the police has largely failed to book the culprits through fair investigation in many other similar cases. Right activists affiliated to different quarters along with the general public have thus started asking whether the state mechanism itself is committed towards safeguarding criminals who happen to have a high political or economical influence. Victims being persistently devoid of justice and criminals escaping prosecution and punishment merely based on affiliation of one or the other kind are the blatant examples of impunity. Along with the rampant dismay and distrust of the public towards the rule of law, this has nullified the significance of the government's promise of abiding by even the fundamental aspects of human rights. Meanwhile, a 7-year-old girl child in Chitwan's Bharatpur metropolitan city has become the latest victim of sexual abuse at a time when the incidents of rape and murder have been frequently making the national headlines. A complaint has been lodged at the local police station against a 16-year-old boy studying in class 10 for sexual assault and the 7-year-old girl child living in rented apartment at Bharatpur's Bhojad Pokhari. The police has arrested the perpetrator and undergone medical checkup of the victim at Bharatpur Hospital. Meanwhile, the victim's father has complained that the influential members of the society themselves have been attempting to suppress the incident and pave the way for the acquittal of the perpetrator. Welcome back. The price of sugar has unreasonably skyrocketed in the market following the government's restriction of the import of sugar on quantity basis. Sugar that used to cost 59 rupees per kilogram a month back has now climbed to 75 rupees at a time when the country's one of the biggest festival, Dasai, is drawing closer. The government, however, has not made any market intervention and taken action against the guilty. The government set the limit of imported sugar to 100,000 tons annually, giving in to the pressure of industries who claim that the domestically produced sugar failed to have adequate market return due to unrestrained import. Traders, however, resorted to unreasonable price hike of the daily consumption item in the pretext of the limited import. The domestic industries and traders have been taking undue advantage of the government's policy-based decision while illicitly deceiving and putting unreasonable financial burden on the consumers and farmers across the country. What is even more strange and suspicious is the government's indifference in this regard. And now time for a segment Public Pulse, where you text us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on the indifference towards cultivating forest saplings after planting them? And your options are: option A, mere formality; option B, abuse of budget. The voting for the question is on. Type in the WS, select option A or B and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Purvanchal University Service Commission Office, Vice Chancellor's Working Office and Registrar's offices have been padlocked by different student unions. Likewise, students have padlocked the principal's office at Mahindra Morang Adarsa Multiple Campus. And in this context, we had asked the university teachers and students why have they resorted to the protest. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public Voice.
विश्वविद्यालयको हितमा र तमाम पूर्वाञ्चल विश्वविद्यालयमा पढ्ने विद्यार्थीहरूको हक र अधिकारका निम्ति नेपाल विद्यार्थी संघले यहाँ चाहिँ तालाबन्दी गरेको छ।
प्राध्यापक संघको माग विपरीत अन्य क्याम्पसबाट क्याम्पसमा नियुक्त गरेको कारण प्राध्यापक संघले 2075 भदौ 22 गतेकै दिनदेखि नै हामीले यहाँ तालाबन्दी गरेको अवस्था छ।
डिग्री क्याम्पसमा चाहिँ बाहिरबाट नै बारम्बार प्रमुख ल्याउने कुराले गर्दाखेरि एकातिर हामी प्राध्यापकहरूको मानमर्दन भएको छ, अर्कोतर्फ क्याम्पसको गुणस्तर समाप्त भएको छ र यो स्नातकोत्तर बचाउ अभियान अन्तर्गतकै यो एउटा पक्ष हो।
राजनीतिक भागभण्डादेखि लिएर विद्यार्थी मारा जुन नीति ल्याएछ, परीक्षादेखि लिएर तपाईँलाई शैक्षिक क्यालेन्डरकादेखि कुरा लिएर भौतिक पूर्वाधारको कुरादेखि ल्याएर यी सबै यावत कुरालाई विश्वविद्यालयले व्यवस्था गरेको अवस्था छ।
नेकपा सरकारले हैन भन्दाखेरि आफ्नो अनुकूल जुन नियुक्ति गरेको छ, यो नियुक्तिलाई चाहिँ चाँडोभन्दा चाँडो हटाएर सबैजनाले डेमोक्रेटिक तरिकाले नियुक्ति गर्नुपर्छ।
कर्मचारी भर्ती केन्द्रको रूपमा पूर्वाञ्चल विश्वविद्यालय स्थापना गर्न खोजे हो कि त्यसको विरुद्धमा हाम्रो एउटा माग हो। राजनीतिक अखडाको रूपमा विकास हुँदै गइरहेछ, यसलाई रोक्नको लागि
शैक्षिक क्यालेन्डर अनुसार विद्यालय प्रशासन चल्नुपर्छ।
आवेदकहरूको फर्म लिँदाखेरि लिएको पैसा र एक्जामिनेसन अहिलेसम्म लिएको छैन, त्यो यथाशीघ्र लिने या त त्यसको फिज हुन्छ त्यो रिटर्न गरिदिने हाम्रो एउटा माग हो।
बाहिरबाट बारम्बार क्याम्पससिप ल्याउने गरिएको हुनाले र क्याम्पसको अवस्था दिनानुदिन गिर्दै गएको हुनाले, शैक्षिक अवस्था डामाडोल भएको हुनाले त्यसको विरुद्धमा प्राध्यापक संघले तालाबन्दी गरेको हो।
And it's now time for sports update.
Sports news.
Manchester City climbed to the top of the English Premier League with a clinical 2-0 victory over Brighton in a match played yesterday. City confirmed its lead at the top as Liverpool and Chelsea played a 1-1 stalemate. City, playing in front of its home crowd, took the lead in the 29th minute through Raheem Sterling. With relentless pressure, City doubled the lead in the 65th minute with a goal by Sergio Aguero. In another match, Liverpool, playing away from home, shared points against Chelsea. Eden Hazard gave Chelsea the lead in the 25th minute. However, substitute Daniel Sturridge came to the rescue of Liverpool in the 89th minute. Liverpool is now in the second position with 19 points from 7 matches. City tops the league on better goal difference. Chelsea is in the third position with 17 points. Earlier, West Ham had stunned Manchester United 3-1. In other matches, Arsenal defeated Watford 2-0, Tottenham also registered 2-0 win over Huddersfield. Leicester City defeated Newcastle 2-0. Wolves also chalked out an identical 2-0 win over Southampton, while Everton registered 3-0 victory over Fulham. Barcelona was held by Atletico Bilbao in the Spanish La Liga in a match played last night. The result meant that Barcelona was unable to score full points for the third consecutive matches. Playing in Nou Camp, Barca was stunned by a 41st minute strike by Bilbao's Oscar Di Marzo. After Barca missed a number of chances, Munir Al-Haddadi came to the rescue of the defending champions with the 84th minute strike. And moving on to domestic football, Tribune Army and NRT have played a 2-2 draw in the inaugural match of the Martyrs Memorial A Division League. NRT was compelled to settle for a draw following the final minute goal scored by Tribune Army in the match that started 30 minutes late after the stipulated time. Rojit Pudaseni's goal in the 12th minute gave NRT the lead in the first half. Santosh Tamang equalized the score for Army in the 30th minute. NRT got a 2-1 lead in the second half, though, as Rajesh Pariyar netted in the 64th minute. Goalkeeper Ajit Pariyar's error in the injury time, however, led Army to strike its second goal through a free kick, leading the scoreline to 2-2. Sangada Club and Saraswati Club are clashing in the second day of the tournament today. And those were our latest headlines. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Good day.